Today we'll be creating a value scale. You'll be needing these supplies: your value scales paper, an ebony pencil, and also a colored pencil in a dark color such as blue violet or purple or perhaps teal, so that you can shade lightly as well as dark with it. Today we're going to be making our own value scale, first in black and grays and then in color. We'll start off easy with only 4 steps, and then we're going to get increasingly difficult and end with this 10-step, very challenging value scale. Value refers to light and dark. When we shade a drawing and we use dark, medium, and light shading, we're using dark, medium, and light values. So let's begin with writing our name in the bottom right-hand corner of our paper, and also by writing the word ebony in the title space, since our value scales that we begin with will be ebony value scales. We'll start with the first 4-step scale on the left, and we'll begin by very lightly shading in the entire scale. As I said, keep your shading very, very light. It's what we would call whisper shading, to make a very light value. By applying the same amount of pressure on your pencil all the way through, we'll have the same value. Now we'll move to step 2, which will be a little bit darker. Apply a little bit more pressure. And cover the rest of the scale with that same value. So you can see now we have 2 values, one very light, and then we've gotten a little bit darker. If you like, you can put a paper underneath your value scale, and that will help smooth your shading a little bit, and it'll make a little bit smoother surface. Now we'll move to step 3, and again, apply a little bit more pressure. Cover the scale. And now you should be seeing 3 values. And of course, I'm trying to stay in the lines at the same time. And finally, we'll add the darkest value. By pressing harder and getting a darker value. Let's move now to the 6-step value scale, and we will follow the same process, very lightly shading in as the first step. Moving to the second value, getting a little bit darker. Remember not to get too dark at this stage, or else by the time you get close to the bottom of your scale, you'll be too dark and you won't be able to get any darker. Now, step 3. Step 4. Each time I'm just putting a little bit more pressure on my pencil. step 5. And step 6. And now I'm really putting a lot of pressure on my pencil to create this very dark value. If you like, you can go over the edges so that it doesn't appear quite as stripy and so that your values blend a little bit better with each other there on their borders. Let's move over now to the 8-step value scale. And again, we're going to be very light. Then we'll move to step 2, getting a little bit darker. And I think probably by this point, you've got the idea. We'll follow through with all of these value scales using the same process. Of course, the number 10, step 1, is the most challenging, but this is what yours should look like when you are finished. Once you have finished all 4 of your ebony value scales, you're then going to work on your colored value scale. I use teal. Notice my name is at the bottom. This is on the back of your paper. And instead of writing ebony here, I wrote the color that was on the side of my colored pencil, which in this case is teal. You follow the same procedure that we followed on the ebony value scales, going dark or light to dark, step by step by step, and ending with that 10-step very challenging one. When you are finished, your work will go in the folder on the rack where we put our finished work.